Hi! This is day 2 of our booktube extravaganza.
We were tagged by the Library of Brittany a couple of weeks ago to do her collaboration tags. That's what we're going to be doing for you today.
So let's go straight into it. The first question is, what is your favourite collaborative book? My favourite is War Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. I know a lot of people go for this one for their favourite collaborative book, but I just think it is brilliant, and I haven't read many, but it was clever how the characters entwined and they met and they both got the same name, and it's cute.
And I've tried to be a bit different, so I've gone for The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler. I didn't actually realise that this was a collaborative book until I was looking at my bookshelf to choose for this tag, and yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It's all about a girl who can see her Facebook page, which is 10 years in the future, and if she does things in her life, things change on her Facebook page. And yeah, it was really interesting. I read it over summer a couple of years ago. For questions 2 and 3, we both have one answer and the same answer, and those questions are: what is the first collaborative book you ever read, and have you ever read a collaborative series?
And that book and series is The House of Night by PC and Kristen Cast. It's a vampire book series, if I remember rightly.
It was a couple of years ago when we were into the whole Twilight vampire thing, and we really liked it, but then we got to kind of book 10 and it got a bit boring, so we both stopped reading it.
Oh, it was hideous after a while.
Yeah, it was.
Question 4 is a really good one. It's, if you could collab with any author, who would it be and why?
And I personally would like to collaborate with J.R.R. Tolkien, because I struggle to come up with storylines and things like that, and I think he just has such a huge imagination, and it'd be fun to collaborate with someone who has so many great ideas all the time.
And it'd be good for getting your characters out of sticky situations. You'd be like, how, I don't want them to die. Big Eagle! If I could collab with anyone, it would be Sally Gardner, because she's one of my favourite authors. She's written some of my favourite books, and she's just got such an imagination as well, but in a different way to Tolkien. I think Maggie at Moonlight, if you've ever seen our emotions tag video, how confusing this was, but also her stretching genres, from The Red Necklace being historical fiction but with the magical twist. I love that clash of genre.
Question number 5 is, if you could have 2 authors collaborate, who would you pick and why, and what genre would you like them to write and why?
I would pick Jan Martala and John Green, because they are both very realistic authors and they write beautifully. I think if they collab together it would just form a beautiful book, because Life of Pi hurts my soul and Paper Towns makes it feel like it goes on forever, so combined they would make me feel very infinite.
And I would like David Levithan and Andrew Kaufman to collaborate, because they both write really uniquely. I mean, Andrew Kaufman writes really wacky things, but really well. He writes gorgeous books. And then David Levithan uses really interesting styles of layout and characters, and I think they just make a really wacky but brilliant book together. I'd really love that.
Question 6 is, what is your favourite artistic collab, like the author and the illustrator, and why?
I don't have a book with me because for some reason I got rid of them at some point, but mine would be Jacqueline Wilson and Nick Sharratt, because all of her books are illustrated by Nick Sharratt, and when I was younger I wanted to be an author and an illustrator, and I used to copy how he used to draw, and I just think they're really nice designs for her books, and yeah, I really like them.
I struggled with this one because I was having trouble thinking of a book with pictures in. But then I was thinking about the Lemony Snicket series, which I love. I have all 13 at home, and so I would have to say Lemony Snicket, and Brett Hallquist is my favourite, because it's just like the creepy, surrealist illustrations I think really add to the weird and wacky story of a series of unfortunate events.
Question number 7 is, have you ever read a book written by more than 2 authors?
Yeah. Question 8 is, match made in heaven. Which 2 authors do you think would combine who have similar styles to make a nice, smooth and nice read?
My combination would be James Dashner and Suzanne Collins, who are the authors of the Maze Runner trilogy and obviously the Hunger Games. I think that they both write really fast-paced, exciting dystopias, and I think together they'd have just amazing characters and such an exciting book. I don't know, I think they'd really work well together. I'd love to, oh, it'd be amazing.
I have chosen J.D. Salinger and Stephen Chbosky, because I think they write both very reflectively and honestly, and I think if they combined it would create a book that had a lot of meaning to it.
Question number 9 is, opposites attract. What 2 authors have clashing styles and would make a fun and unique read?
I have chosen Tolkien and Shakespeare. I think from the different time periods that they've both lived in, it would just create a complete clash, and it'd be like something out of Doctor Who. What if they met and they read each other's stuff?
That'd be great.
What would they do? Who knows? It's blown my mind to think about. Fun and unique.
And my choices are Sarah J Maas and John Green, because I think Sarah J Maas has the fantasy sort of interest, whereas John Green always writes contemporary. So I think it'd just be really interesting to have, like, I don't know, it wouldn't be a fantasy contemporary, but either, I don't know, it'd just be interesting. I don't even know what they'd write. I don't know if it'd be fantasy or contemporary or something completely different. I just think, but they both write really well and have really great character development, so I think they would merge quite well. Yeah, I'd just really like to see that.
So that's the end of our collab video. We're going to tag Reading with Al because he seems like a nice guy if you haven't done it already.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye!
We would tag... Someone at the door.
They both write very contemplatively. Oh wow, contemplatively.